Hello and welcome to One Man's Collection. Today I'm looking at the Formula One Car Collection magazine number 38. This is the James Hunt Hesketh 308B from 1975. I don't know much about this one at all. Obviously James Hunt, yes, I know that, but I don't know much about this car, so I'm going to take a look at it, have a look at the magazine. I do have a 143 scale diecast that probably could do with a little bit of cleanup. It's been sitting on the shelf. Nice car, that one. But we'll have a look at the magazine first. I'll briefly go through the magazine, show you what you do get in this particular set. So it's a 75 season, technical focus on this particular car and the team. The circuit for this particular magazine is the Brands Hatch British Grand Prix. And the story so far is a 1987 PK third title Williams. So glam rock, James Hunt and his Hesketh are the paddock's new idols. Always super fast. The Englishman was now honing his strategic skills as an astute tyre choice helped him get the better of Niki Lauda and seal victory at the Dutch Grand Prix. Looks like a picture of Monaco. Fourth place overall in the 1975 World Championship for James Hunt. Hesketh pictures here at Monaco. Yep. Hunt secured the priceless win at Zandvoort in the Dutch Grand Prix. The season, 75. It's got James Hunt there in third. Is that at the Dutch? Okay. Tragedy at the Spanish Grand Prix. Despite strong protests of the drivers over safety of the circuit, the Spanish Grand Prix was held at Montjuic circuit in Barcelona. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Got underway with the Ferraris in control and Hunt behind them. In the event, the English driver's a less than perfect start worked in his favour as he missed the early pile-up that involved the Ferraris. Hunt took to the lead before succumbing to an oil spillage on lap 7. But his slide into the barrier was nothing compared to Rolf Stallman's accident that cost 4 spectators their lives. Wow. Yeah, that's not pretty. Not a good race, that one. If you want to read any of this more magazine, you will have to press pause, but I'm going to go through showing what we've got. The old 70s with the high intake over the top there. Iconic look, isn't it? Win for Tyrrell and Scheckter. I think we already talked about that on another magazine. Look at that, all wheels up in the air. John Watson takes off over the bump. Spanish circuit at the Wheel of Surtees. TS16, the Irishman would go on to win races for Penske and McLaren and finish joint runner-up in the 1982 Drivers' Championship. Cool. All right, going on to the pull-out here, we've got a rear longitudinal 8-cylinder V 90-degree Ford Cosworth, just under 3 litres, 2.993. A lot of the cars back in those days were Ford Cosworth. I think they supplied, I was reading it in last week's magazine, I think it was, they were supplying more than half the grid by the looks of it. This one here pictured is 1974 James Hunt finished on the podium 3 times in the Hesketh's first car, the Cosworth DFV Power 308. He was third in Sweden, Austria, that's the one from Austria there, and United States in that year. Hesketh lined up a second 308 just once in Austria, entrusting it to South African driver Scheckter, brother of Jody. However, he failed to qualify for the race. Yeah, these days, 2 cars and everything, isn't it? All right, the team, breath of fresh air, enthusiastic aristocrat Lord Alexander Hesketh breezed into the stormy world of motorsport racing and founded an unconventional team that would swiftly become a success. It was a fleeting but intense experience. Back in the day where money pretty much bought the prestige, didn't it? Although, has that really changed? All right, the circle of this one here on this magazine is Great Britain's Brands Hatch. British Circuit branch has boasted a long and fascinating history, originally a training ground for cyclists and then later used by motorcycle racers. It was only after the Second World War that Brands Hatch opened its oval-shaped circuit for motor racing. The circuit has gradually extended until it became suitable for staging World Championship events. How about that, eh? Cycling originally, then motorcycles. Alright, story of Formula 1, 1987, Piquet's third title. Yeah, I was very much interested in by the 80s because I was old enough to understand what I'm looking at and start going for drivers and or teams. Nelson Piquet, 73 points. Nigel Mansell, 61. Ayrton Senna, 57. Alain Prost, 46 points. And Gerhard Berger on 36 points. There's some names that ring bells. Williams Honda got 137 points, getting a first in the championship by quite a margin by the looks of it, over McLaren and then Lotus. Lotus Honda. That's McLaren Tag Porsche. Okay, finishing up on this one. Next magazines on number 39 and 40, we have the Ferrari 375 Indy, as driven by Alberto Ascari in 1952. Some of the older Formula Ones that I have in this collection. And in part 40, the Jean-Pierre Beltoise. I have no idea how to pronounce these things. Anyway, it's a BRM P160B. We'll show that off in the upcoming magazines. Let's have a quick closer look at this particular diecast car. James. That's a Scottish flag and an English flag. Is that because of the team owner and the driver? I don't know. Someone can write in comments. I think that's what it's to do with. Not a lot of advertising on these particular cars, I remember. They, prior to the days where they were allowed to smother them. I do have Goodyear on the wall of the tyre though, and the Hesketh name on the front, and that's pretty much it. Blue seat belts inside. They're pretty much just a painted thing on there, black wheel. Got some decent piping happening in amongst the engine there though. See if we get underneath there. Actually, a lot of these models have got pretty good engine modelling. More than just an outside thing. Look at the radiators hanging off the end there. See if I can get a light into this engine. There you go. I like how the models do that. Yeah. Put that up. I'm going to put this on a turntable so you can have a closer look without my hands being in the way. Thank you very much for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe. I will be back with the magazine number 39 next week. And have a great day. Cheers. Thanks. Bye.